of the 4-year-old girl being beaten by an adult male as she was forced to drink from a bottle of milk? Because I have. Child abuse is a serious problem in Trinidad, and there has been an onslaught of viral videos showing just that. As a result, myself, Tekiyah Jorsling, Riyana Gibson, Anala Mohan, and Jean-Marc decided to launch the Innocence Campaign to address the issue of child abuse as our project for the Human Rights Law Clinic 2015.
Every child is worth fighting for. Essentially, the purpose of the Innocence Campaign was to remind the public of this fact. We wish to generate awareness and educate the public on child abuse, thereby dispelling all the common misconceptions about child abuse. One of the main objectives of our project was to put forward some ways in which child abuse could be prevented. In order to achieve our objectives, we firstly used social media. Social media was used to generate discussion and awareness on child abuse. Secondly, we created a spoken word video. This was used to demonstrate the severity of child abuse. We also created a booklet to educate the public. And lastly, we collaborated with stakeholders, mainly the Children's Authority. And this was done to increase the scope of our project. In hopes of reaching a wider audience, we decided to produce an informative booklet entitled "Every Childhood is Worth Fighting For." This booklet contains information on what constitutes child abuse, the different types of child abuse, both short-term and long-term effects of child abuse on a child, what a child can do if he or she is being abused, what an adult can do if a child is being abused, the offenses that may arise relating to child abuse, and lastly, the myths and facts surrounding child abuse. The purpose of this booklet is to highlight the prevalence of child abuse and the real-life consequences that child abuse has on the life of a child. This booklet was given to the Children's Authority for their perusal as they were interested in our campaign. It was also distributed to the young adults at the military-led academic training academy, and it will be given to the Hugh Law School, June Randy Library, for the students to be more informed about the topic. Our next method in achieving our goal of the project was a social media campaign, which was launched on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Members of these websites were asked to share a photo illustrating "Say No to Child Abuse," along with the hashtag The Innocence Campaign, giving their views on child abuse. The response was tremendous as members were very informative in their responses. Some members even went in depth in researching the topic and using statistics in their views. I can honestly say that we did in fact achieve our goals of raising public awareness and engaging a public discussion on child abuse. Some of these views on social media included: the most carefree time of your life should not be a nightmare. In pursuing the best interests of our children, we're improving the future of humanity. And lastly, no human being should have to endure any abuse, much less a child. Children are a heritage and a blessing. We need to protect them.
As part of the campaign, we produced a spoken word poem. The poem was written and performed by Idris Salim of the Two Sons movement. The poem was about a man who reminisced about his childhood of being abused by his father and how that abuse has affected him as he grew into a man. We decided to use this poem as a means of reaching a wider audience. Spoken word poems are known to be emotive and captures the audience's attention by drawing the audience in and putting them into the position of the poet. Idris Salim was an excellent poet and did justice. As a part of the campaign, we also collaborated with the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. There, we met with the director, Sharifa Ali Abdullah, and also the Public Education and Communication Manager, Sharon Moses Williams. There in a meeting, we decided on a way forward in collaborating and making the project reach a wider audience. One of the methods in which we collaborated was by visiting the military-led academic training academy, MyLab, where the boys of the academy, in a seminar, discussed different instances of abuse. After the seminar, we were able to distribute some of our booklets and also engage the boys in conversations about child abuse. As part of our collaboration with the Children's Authority, we also was put into contact with a family that has been affected by child abuse. As an outreach aspect of our campaign, we decided to hold a drive for food items, stationery, and toiletries for this family. The drive was a tremendous success as the students at the Hugh Law School responded greatly to this call for help, and we thank them sincerely.
At the beginning of the Innocence Campaign, we wanted to employ the methods that would most effectively deal with the urgency of the issue of child abuse. As a result, we decided that we would do presentations to 2 schools that will allow us to interact with young children who are often the most vulnerable to child abuse, as well as create different videos that would show instances that may or may not constitute child abuse and solicit views from the public. However, we face challenges and limitations due to the resources that we have. However, these challenges allow us to propel our project to even greater heights and to be able to think outside of the box, to use our resources in a way that would most effectively and diligently bring awareness to the issue of child abuse, as well as carry out and fulfill all of the goals that we envisioned for the Innocence Campaign. Our Innocence Campaign booklet, being available online, allowed us to reach much more young children than we would have been able to via 2 school presentations. Furthermore, it is also accessible to the public at large, and thus we are also able to engage adults, which was not envisioned by the school presentation, and thus elevated our campaign. The spoken word video not only achieved the goal that the initial "what would you do" videos would achieve in soliciting real emotions from the audience, but it also allowed the audience to go on a journey following the story of one child, and thus having a greater emotive impact on the viewer. Furthermore, we never envisioned at the beginning of this campaign that we would have been able to collaborate with the Children's Authority in the way that we did. The authority allowed us to meet families who are affected by child abuse and to help in the little way that we could have. It also showed us that there's so much more work to be done. We met with experts in the Trinidad Authority who showed us statistics, who imparted their knowledge and experience with us, on us, in terms of what they learned about working with children. And this allowed us to be more informed and thus be able to better bring awareness to the general public, again, bringing our project to even greater heights than we originally imagined.
us would remember the gruesome story of Amy, Emily, and Amantudo way back in 2006. Child abuse has always been a very real issue in Trinidad and Tobago, and statistics from the Children's Authority shows that it is an issue even today. Therefore, children being one of the most vulnerable groups in society must be fought for and protected. The Innocence Campaign must therefore be continued even after the end of our project. Everybody has a part to play.
Every childhood is worth fighting for. Elevated our campaign. Our spoken word poets did a fabulous job. Pause, stop, delete. I don't like that. Could you stop it?
Putting them into the position of the poet. Idris Salim was an excellent poet and did justice.
Dealt with mainly was the Children's Authority, and this was done to increase the scope of the project. I want to do it over.
Yeah.
2, 3. Every childhood is worth fighting for. Let's put it over that.